Welcome to Go Bears Diecast Workshop, episode 63. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified of my future videos. Also, go ahead and check me out on Instagram. Started up an account over there and take a look. So, what we have going on today is a bill for bill that was sponsored by Cuda's Custom Diecast. And so myself and Diecast Chasers got together and built a car for each of us and then mailed them off to them. So the car that I chose for Gloria over at Diecast Chasers was a Nova. She said she liked Novas, and so this is what we're working with. It has a terrible paint scheme on it, and we're going to remedy that and make it look nice and tough and mean. So I hope you guys appreciate it. And remember, check out all the other bill for bills sponsored by Cuda's Diecast Customs. So we're going to get it in some stripper, and I've already tapped it out of the stripper. It's looking pretty good. There is some paint remnants left in some of the casting lines, but we'll take care of that with a pick. The casting actually looks to be in pretty good shape. Not too much flashing or casting lines that have to be removed. But we're going to go ahead and get the brass brush on it and try to loosen up some of that paint that was still adhering to the casting. So got my brass brush, going to go over it, making sure that I get it over the entire car itself. Took care of a pretty good bit of it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and follow up with my Dremel and the Scotch-Brite sanding disc wheel. And this does a really good job. It's not very abrasive, so it doesn't remove any of the metal. And they do have different grits for this. I believe this one is the 320. I just pick them up from Amazon. Now they will start to come apart. You'll see that on my workbench. But they're not very expensive, so it does the job. You can get probably 100 in a bag or so. I think even Diecast Graveyard uses these as well. But I like prepping the body with them. So if you don't have these in your arsenal of tools, you may want to pick that up. Like I said, it's a good little product. But just go ahead and take care of going over the entire casting itself. I don't know why I keep saying custom, but it's casting. And once you get it all to your satisfaction as far as body prep, you're going to go ahead and clean it up with some degreaser and everything and get it ready to go in the paint booth. So here we are in the paint booth. I'm using my Tamiya Fine Surface Gray Primer. I'm going to go over the entire casting, making sure I got a nice even coat. This is just a rattle can, of course. Just seems a little bit simpler for me instead of dirtying up my airbrush for that. I do have some primer that does spray out of the airbrush. Sometimes I use the Fine Surface Primer. It does a great job. I know I got some Duplicolor as well. And just make sure you get a nice even coat. Don't get too heavy. Make sure you stay your proper distance so you don't have any runs or sags. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the top coat. So what we have here is going to be some Duplicolor metallic blue. Again, it goes on kind of heavy, so keep the proper distance. Get a nice even coat. Make sure to wait between coats to have it dry a little bit so it'll stick and adhere. Again, you can hear me shaking that can, just making sure that that paint stays agitated. So here we are. I've clear coated it with some 2K clear. And now I'm putting some striping on it. This is just some Tester's pin striping that I had. This is very small, and the detail though makes it bring the car out with the black stripes. Just take your time with it. It is pretty forgiving that you can reposition it if you need to. I always usually leave a little tab so I can tuck it under. Gives you an idea of what it's going to end up looking like. I also have a stripe down the side, which I thought was a good addition to it. As you can see on that roll of Tester's pinstriping, there's several different widths that I could choose from. Just making sure it's sticking down nice and tight to the casting. No bubbles. So now I'm going to go to the base, use some of the Tamiya panel line paint, and take care of the grill. As you can see, it has a very fine brush that comes with it, which I really like. Now you can put on as many coats as you want depending on what your desired look is. And it goes on really nice. It is a little thin, but even though it's thin, if you just take your time, you shouldn't have any problems with it. You can also see on the base that I did some details to the rims. Put some chrome around them. But here's what we started out with. A very ugly paint scheme. Even though when I was in the military, I painted that flying tiger's teeth and tails on A10s. I just don't like it in the red. Maybe if it was green, I might be better suited to say I like it. But again, this is a bill for bill. And here's what we ended up with. Metallic blue, black pinstriping, chrome rims, details on door handles, marker lights, headlights, turn signal lights, as well as the tail lights. Again, this was a very fun build. I appreciate Cole over at Cuda's Diecast Customs putting this together, and Gloria for inviting me to be her buddy or build buddy. And check out her build for me. She did a VW. It was awesome. It looks even better in person. So again, thank you guys for supporting me. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Trying to work my way to 1,000. Share it. I really appreciate it. For all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day.